All right, today we're going to be talking about how a tax planner works. What's the whole process?
Right. So with a tax planner, I've noticed that some clients are like, oh, we're going to incorporate a specialist into our tax plan. Absolutely. So if you see here a tax planner, they don't know everything and they don't know how to do everything, nor should they, right? Otherwise, you're not going to be able to really do a good job or it's going to be half-baked. So what do I mean by that? A tax planner at its core should be your lead strategist, right? And they'll know how to implement a lot of the strategies, right? It really just depends on certain areas that they specialize in. But I would say any strategy here, let's just say, for example, we need to do a cost segregation study to accelerate depreciation for real estate. We're going to go with a specialist, right? It's an engineering study. CPAs aren't engineers, right? So they have to get somebody here to realize that. Now, let's just say we also want to do a 401k, right? And a defined benefit pension plan, right? But we're going to save anywhere from 40 to 90,000 in taxes by implementing this. We need to get a specialist that can do these plans, can do the 5500 form. That's the compliance form. This may cost us 1 to 2,000 annually, but if we're saving 40 to 90K, it's always going to make sense. I think in another video we kind of talk about how, look, if we're going to say, let's do this, do not have that cost resistant mindset, because anything we're suggesting, the savings far out exceed any of those small investments that you have to make in order to realize that. Let's say, for example, we want to do tax loss harvesting, right? Well, how the heck are you going to do tax loss harvesting? Do you know how to do it? Do you know how to do trades and ensure that you're going to be able to realize losses, that you can offset your capital gains? So we use a specialized financial planner that has portfolios with specific algorithms that know how to do that. They may have a management fee of some sort, like, so let's just say it's 1% or something like that. So you have to be aware of some of these other outside costs. But again, at the end of the day, all of that should be essentially nothing in comparison to the saving. Again, we want to monitor that and make sure that, okay, let's do this. And if we're breaking even, it doesn't make sense, right? Might as well just pay the tax. So in that, we're going to have specialists for these specific areas. Another one is, let's say we want to do a CRT, right, which is a charitable remainder trust. Those are highly complex and they need to be created in a way that is going to be consistent with deferring taxes and also meeting the client's goals. So that is also another specialist. Now, the value in a tax planner is that you don't have to go out and find these people and know, who do I trust? How do I know they're going to do a good job? The tax planner should already know that. The people we work with, we've seen the K1s. We've done enough work with them that we're like, okay, these companies are legitimate. We trust them. And that is where the tax planner will save you a lot of time and headache. Another one is oil and gas DPP investments, right? There are a lot of shady gas companies out there that are not true. So you want to make sure you're coordinating this with your tax planner if oil and gas is something you want to do. We have one that we work with. You know, we've seen the K1s. They're incorporated in the Certified Tax Planner Association, so we know that other tax planners are using them as well. But typically that's how a tax planner is going to work, is they're going to be the lead specialist and the lead strategist. But just like any military organization, we're going to have engineers, we're going to have infantry, and we're going to have pilots. This is how tax planning works in itself.